Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts Monorail on the back of our 2022 Ford Maverick. The Monorail is a platform-style bike rack that holds a bike in these trays and by our front tire. We're using that as a wheel hook that's going to have zero frame contact, making this good for carbon frame and alternative frame bikes. And with a 60-pound weight capacity per bike, it's going to be able to handle some e-bikes too. You've got a wheel strap on the back tire as well to keep that in place, and overall it results in a pretty strong hold on the bike. You can tilt this rack away from the vehicle when it's loaded. There's a blue handle underneath the back tray that you can squeeze and lower the whole thing down, and that'll give us room to open up the tailgate. There is some caveat to this though, because with the Maverick it doesn't fully open. You can move this support to the upper post that will kind of lock it out at this halfway open position. So if you need to get something out, you can. Makes it a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about it making contact with the bike rack. If we were to open this up all the way though to that default flat position, it wouldn't clear. And I'll just do this kind of slowly. You can see over on your side, that's where it starts to touch. So for me, I wouldn't put any weight on it that way. And you're not going to be able to have a nice flat place to sit before or after your ride. When you're done with it tilted though, you can lift this back up and it'll latch back in. And it's a pretty loud snap, letting you know it's locked in and ready to drive. At the back end, we can start getting the bike unloaded using this wheel strap. There's a blue button to release it, and you can just remove it from its slot. And then the wheel hook, again, a blue color-coded button to squeeze, push up and out. Then you can just lift the bike up and away. Now, because this bike rack doesn't have a center mast or anything else in the way, there's really no obstructions as far as loading or unloading goes, making the whole process a lot simpler and easier. Then you can fold everything back up, starting with our wheel hook and the cradle. In this back cradle, we can see does pivot front to back to accommodate for different wheelbases. Now at this point, I like to get some measurements, starting with our ground clearance. At the back end, the lowest point is going to be 23 inches from the ground, giving us some really good clearance, and I don't think we'll have to worry about that when we're driving around because we do have a really good rise in the shank. The distance added to the back of the vehicle from the bumper out is going to be right at 33 inches, and that's at the end of the arm right here. It does stick out a little bit more than some bike racks, but not quite as much as others. Kind of in the middle, but it is going to add some length. If we want to leave this in the hitch between rides, we can fold it up using that same handle as before. It'll snap in once it's folded, and that'll cut down in distance quite a bit. Now only sticking out 13.5 inches to the outermost point right here. That's going to make it a lot easier to live with, pulling into parking spots or your driveway, maybe even your garage at home, depending on the room you have. We can see the locking point for the included cable lock. It'll just wrap around and have a lock core on the outer edge, which is key to the hitch lock down by the hitch. It's working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube, and that hitch lock is a locking anti-rattle bolt. You just thread that in and tighten it down with a 3/4 inch socket. It's going to keep things nice and solid in the hitch. The bike rack isn't super lightweight, but it's also not super bulky. You've got some really good grab points, so it's easy to get in the hitch, and you have ample room to reach around and tighten down that anti-rattle bolt once it's in the hitch. And overall, if you're looking for a pretty good value bike rack that's going to work with a wide range of bikes, have a good weight capacity, and be easy to use, the Monorail checks all of those boxes for me. It works really well with the Maverick too, so for me, I think it's a good recommendation. Thanks for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.